The findings of this study are based on data secured by 2 surveys and a field study. The 2018 survey of Binghamton University off-campus students resulted in 4,354 off-campus addresses out of a total of 9,909, or 44% of the total, used for mapping. These data also were used for an online survey that produced 1,815 responses, with 21% being permanent residents. These were removed from the study. 91% of the respondents that reported living in a house or apartment were used in the findings of this report. The second survey involved a telephone survey of large rental complexes serving 30% of the off-campus students. Clearly, this option is attractive to some BU students. Another finding is that several of these large complexes were sold out by the end of July when the survey was completed. On the other hand, 70% of the respondents rent a house or part of a house or an apartment. Also, the largest proportion of the student renters found their current location by word of mouth, nearly 50%. The third approach to this study is fieldwork, and it was focused on Johnson City. The field observations provided additional information such as rents and rent amounts. Other general findings from our study include the fact that student location patterns are dynamic in the greater Binghamton area. These patterns continue to shift between the major local communities, particularly in recent years, due to public and private investments that influence student choices. Also, Binghamton has served as the core location for the Binghamton University off-campus students, since statistics have been available. Traditionally, Binghamton's west side has served as the primary location of Binghamton University renters. Despite these traditional patterns, recent investments in student housing in particular locations have led to a dynamic, rapid change in student patterns, and the location of Binghamton University and its proximity to new student housing in Vestal and the opening of a downtown campus in the city of Binghamton are important student relocations in those recent years. Thus, construction of large student-oriented residential complexes has attracted students to specific locations and changed the student renter distribution pattern at certain times. These changes illustrate the influence of investments in new housing alternatives, especially with modern amenities. During the same general time periods of BU studies, Johnson City's share of the university's total student renters reached nearly 14%, its highest percentage, in the year of 2004. Its percentage varied, but reached its lowest in 2018 at 5.6%. Interestingly, 80% of the Johnson City 2018 student population rented space in the study area around the health campuses. Student rents changed as locational patterns shifted in the greater Binghamton region. While it is not surprising that rents increased on average, the geography of rents changed are noteworthy. For example, there is a large difference in rents between downtown Binghamton and its west side. These are discussed in our report. The Johnson City average student rent in 2018 is $520 per month, which is generally comparable to Binghamton's west side, although somewhat higher. However, when those rents are calculated for the study area around the health science campuses, where the 80% of Binghamton students reside in Johnson City, the average rent is $485 per month, and much more comparable to the west side average student rent. Local and state investments have served as an engine of growth in Binghamton and Vestal, and now in Johnson City there is the same potential. It seems that both new student complexes and more affordable apartments will appeal to different students and will remain important in all of the localities studied. Accordingly, Johnson City is likely to become more similar to the Binghamton rental housing market, offering multiple options that are desired by Binghamton University students, particularly as Main Street and other areas are redeveloped commercially and offer options to students. The evolution of the health sciences campus and the surrounding area will play a major role in this revitalization. Economic revitalization almost always comes with fears of gentrification that displaces poor people. This document does not address this slow process, but establishes current rent levels that provide an opportunity to monitor their changes over time. For a copy of this recent study, please select the print option below.